Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you the ultimate drift smelting guide, drift smelting meta tips and tricks. So this video covers everything you need to know regarding drift smelting. We will go into all the mechanics regarding this feature and some useful tips and tricks to ensure you know all about the drift smelting meta. There's a lot of content on drift smelting, so I will be doing separate videos for Driftstone, Driftgems, and builds, as there is a lot to cover. No, seriously, there's too many. If I put everything in this vid, it would take forever. However, here's an important note. If you are trying to get into drift smelting, you can only access drift smelting after finishing Chapter 13, Sunder of the Skies. So you have to slay Rathalos. So until you finish that part of the story, unfortunately, you cannot do drift smelting. So if you're brand new or you're a beginner, make sure you finish that part of the story before you watch this video, or watch it before you get there. In other words, get grinding, go slay Rathalos so you can access this incredible feature. Alright, let's jump right into it. Here's how to access the drift smelting menu. Step 1, go to your equipment menu. So tap on your weapon, etc. next to your character icon, and you'll go to step 2. Tap on the drift smelting icon on the bottom right. You should now see the drift smelting menu. Here's what it looks like right here. And then once you tap on this, or once you start getting some Driftstones, here's what your active drift smelting menu looks like. So once you start getting some Driftstones, like I mentioned, and start drift smelting, it will look like this. At the top, you will have the armor you are drift smelting. As you see right here, I have my Rothian Van Braces. And that will also be where you see the select tab. You will tap on that in order to switch gear, etc. So if you want to switch armor or select another piece of armor, you will tap on that select tab to drift smelt it, or switch like I mentioned. Next, you have the selected and active drift smelting Driftstone. So the selected will have the kilometer bar, and the drift smelting one will have the drift smelting icon. So as you see right there, whenever you tap on it, or you'll see it on your screen, you will see the kilometer bar appear right here. You'll see that for the rest of this video. You'll see it appear. But if you have one that's actively drift smelting, you will see the drift smelting icon. As you see, it's that copper golden machine thingy right over there. So if there's an active one, you'll see that one. If you're tapping on another one, you will see the kilometer bar. If you have progress on it, this bar will be filled. You will also see the Driftstones in your inventory. As you see, all 9 of your Driftstones, or however many you have, will appear right here. And on the bottom right, you will see the number of Driftstone shards you have. In this case, I have 3. Next up, we have how to get Driftstones. So how do you get these Driftstones that you so speak of, King of Charmanders, in order to get these sweet new skills? Well, you have to slay large monsters. So slaying large monsters might get you a Driftstone drop. As you see right here, I am taking on 8 stars an ogre. And different large monsters will drop different types of Driftstones. Refer to this chart right here. So you see this chart right here. Here's this chart of all the Driftstones you have. Or you will see the same chart on the best Driftstones chapter. So I will have the best Driftstones chapter. And you can see that in the list of seeing where everything drops. Here's another tip though, you can also double Driftstone rewards using gems or special carving knives. So for you whales, or for those of you that have the moolah, you can go ahead and use them. As you see right here, you're going to see an amber Driftstone drop, and then I can double up my rewards. You'll see the animation, and for my bonus rewards, you'll see that amber Driftstone. Now here's the thing, the drop rate of Driftstones aren't common, but they're definitely better than Wyvern Gem Shards. If you want like kind of an estimate, I killed like over 50s and ogres today, and I think I got like 16 or 18 amber Driftstones. Well, that's doubling it, so I would say like 9 or 10. So one out of 5 dropped 1 Driftstone. So again, they're not common, but again, better than Wyvern Gem Shards. Now that you know how to get Driftstones, here's a step-by-step guide on how to drift smelt Driftstones into armor. Step 1, tap select at the equipment icon. So you see here, I tapped on the top, right there, tap select, and bam. Next, step 2, you want to select what piece of armor you want to drift smelt. Here's an example. I pick my Azarathalos helmet. I know there's a lot of equipment, so you're just gonna have to scroll down until you find what you want. And then for step 3, I'm going to tap on select. For step 4, after I tap select, I'm going to tap on the Driftstone you want to smelt, and you'll see the kilometer bar appear under it. So as you see right here, there's the kilometer bar, and then step 5, all you have to do is tap Driftsmelt. You can now wait until you walk the 5 kilometers you need, or you can use Smelt like I'm doing right here to instantly complete the process. You'll see the animation where the Driftsmelt machine shakes and the confirmation screen will appear with your new skill. That was literally me in my car. I was going bananas because, as you see, live on video, caught in 4K, I got one of the best skills onto my Rat Soul helm. Oh my god, I can't believe I got burst right away. RNGesus is strong, and we're going to go over that later in the video, but RNGesus was strong with me for this one because I just got burst for my Rat Soul helm. This is one of the best skills, that's why I'm going crazy, and I went crazy in my car the moment I saw this. Luckily, no one was around. But before you go crazy, here's important drift smelting details. You can only smelt 1 driftstone at a time for free. So you can only do 1 at a time for free. Otherwise, you must wait till the first one finishes to drift smelt again. So if you're going to do it the free way, you got to do that 5 kilometers. Then you got to let the animation pop up, and then you're going to be able to do another 5 kilometers. However, while 1 driftstone is smelting, you can still use Smelt, which is the pay to smelt method, to drift smelt into another piece. This is indicated by the Driftsmelt option being whited out below the Smelt option, like you see right here. So, as you see, it's whited out, but that means you have another one that's actually active. However, you could still use Smelt like I mentioned. And you can purchase Smelt in the shop, or a menu will appear to prompt you to purchase it if you don't have any. Like you see right here, you can purchase it so you don't have to go all the way back to the shop, and then you don't have to do it that way. Very similar like Hunt-a-thon tickets. Here, Smelt will pop, and you can just buy it from over here, and then smelt whatever you're going to smelt into your armor without having to do all the extra work like I mentioned. Next up, we have the same thing, except here's a step-by-step guide on the 2 ways to drift smelt. So I'm going to show you the free path and the pay path, starting off with the free path. Step 1, select the armor you want to drift smelt. Step 2, tap on the select at the bottom, so you're going to tap it right here. And then step 3, after you tap select, you will see select your driftstone. So you're going to select which driftstone you want. After you select it, you see I select the middle one, tap drift smelt, and then this time you see it's green, it's open, it's orange, so now you're going to tap on drift smelt for the free path, and bam. You will see this machine going off, and there you go. You'll see this animation, and that's how you know you're doing the free path, and you have one that's currently, for the free path, being worked on. So you'll see the kilometer bar, you see that thing going crazy, and bam. That's how you start the free process. Now to do the pay one, just do steps 1 through 4 from the free method, and instead of that one right there, instead of messing with the machine, all you're going to do is tap drift smelt right there, and then you should be able to tap Smelt and use one of your Smelts that you have in your inventory. As you see, it's grayed out right here, and then that will do it, the paid path. There you go. Now you have the free path and the paid path individually, so you see what both of them look like, just in case you're confused again. Now here's a note: when you finish the 5 kilometers for the free path, the Driftsmelt machine animation will play and implant the Driftstone skill. So if you have one rolling and then it finishes, wherever you're walking, whatever, you go back to the menu, it'll play that same animation. I'm not going to bore you to death with it. And then bam, you will see the skill. So it's going to play literally the same exact thing over and over again. And then you will see your skill if you finished a 5 kilometer for the free path. Moving forward, we have armor details and requirements for drift smelting. So unfortunately, it's not that simple and it's not that easy because it's not meant to be. But armor must be upgraded to a certain grade to unlock their drift smelting slots, the skill that you add to the armor. This requirement is usually either grade 5 or grade 8. As you see right here, we have a grade 5 and a grade 8 piece right over here. And some armor pieces have 2 drift smelt slots. So as you see right here, the Gyrototus helm has 2 drift smelt slots. You can unlock one at grade 5 and one at grade 8. Here's the important note though, the armor with 2 slots aren't usually great. It's best to invest for meta armor pieces with 1 slot rather than 2. So as you see right here, water resistance and last stand, they suck. So you're not going to want to invest all your materials to get this one to 2 slots that would benefit you. Again, just use a meta piece and build one just like I did with my Azarathos helm to get burst on it. Now that you know how to implant Driftstones, here's how to set drift smelting skills / drift smelting slots. Step 1, go to the equipment menu as you see right here. And step 2, find the piece of the armor you want to set the drift smelting skill for. After you find it, step 3, tap on the swap icon. So you see we're going to scroll down here, bam. Swap icon right there, tap on that right there. After you tap on it, you will see step 4. You can set the skill you want to set. So you see I have a lot right here. Mine is maxed out, 10. So you're going to select which skill. In this case, I'm going to pick offensive guard for the attack 10 parameter, and then I'm going to click select. After that, a confirmation message will appear saying offensive guard was attached. So this is how you set your skills for your drift smelting slots. Now that you know how to set your drift smelting slots to have your skills, here's drift smelting armor skill limits and management tips. So a piece of armor can have a max of 10 skills. Imprinting another skill after 10 will require you to delete a skill like you see right here. I see right here, bam, I have to delete a skill in order to move on. However, you have the option of rejecting and deleting the new skill instead. So to do this, just check the box next to the new skill, as you see right here for guts, and then you can delete it that way. If you get a skill you want, you can tap swap skill to instantly equip that skill. So if you get something you want, you can click this tap swap skill and bam. That way you don't have to go all the way back to the menu and do it that way. Just do it this way and you'll be able to set it on the new skill that you got and you actually want it. Congratulations! Now that you know how to manage your armor skills, how about your Driftstone inventory? Here's how to manage your Driftstone inventory and deleting Driftstones. You can have a max of 9 Driftstones in your inventory. However, if you look on your menu, there are 10 Driftstone slots on the menu because if you get your 9th Driftstone and you double it, you need that extra slot. So remember, you can only keep 9 unless you double the 8th one, and then you can keep 10. And now here are the steps to delete Driftstones. Step 1, select which Driftstone you want to delete. Step 2, tap on the description tab. So you'll see a small arrow at the bottom right, so you see I have it circled right here. Just tap on that tab, and you see there's that arrow at the small on the bottom right. You can tap that too, but just tap the tab and it'll take you there. Step 3, tap on the trash icon on the top right corner. So you see this tab right here, there's a small trash can icon like your Zenny icon or the trash icon before for when you use to delete materials. Right there, top right. And then we have step 4, a screen confirming you want to delete this Driftstone will appear. And last but not least, for step 5, just tap discard and it will get rid of that Driftstone. On to the next topic, and we have skill parameters. So along with Driftsmelt skills, you also get parameters. So what parameters are random bonuses based on attack, defense, and affinity. As you see on this example right here, I got burst along with affinity plus 1%. So again, these are random along with the skill. So if you're trying to get a specific parameter, don't even try. Just because there's so many combinations, it's not worth re-rolling a piece of equipment. Get the skill, don't worry about the parameter, and don't look back. Alright, congratulations! You know all about drift smelting, driftstones, drift slots, and skill parameters. However, now here's a slide you probably are all going to look at a lot or skip to a lot. It is the odds of getting the skill you want. So here's the thing. When you roll a skill, it's the skill plus parameter. What does this mean? Well, so if you can roll the same skill with a different parameter. As you see in this example, for my Rothian Van Braces, I got offensive guard twice. I got an offensive guard, I got the skill, but I also got 2 different parameters. Attack plus 10 plus defense plus 4. Mind you, it's the same thing I'm using over and over again, so I was wrong. It's not meant to make it easier for you. You can get the same skill. I was wrong. You're not going to get a different skill every time. It can be the same skill with a different parameter. So you have to take into account the skill as well as the parameter. So because I hate math, I'm just going to say it's pretty dang low. Your odds are very small to get the skill you want. This is because you have skills that specific Driftstones give, plus non-specific skills, plus parameters. So you take those 3 together, put it in this math, whatever the heck you want to put it, and those are all the variables you're up against when you want the one specific skill you want. So before you go all like pitchforky on Niantic Japan and Capcom, while it is very gacha-like, to be fair, Quarious Crafting in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is the exact same mechanic. So it's not like it was made to just grab your money. While I agree these odds are ridiculous and there needs to be ways to where you can make it a lot easier in some ways, you know, like a roll or something. I don't know how you're going to do it, but yes, this is the exact same way as before, as another game. So perfectly justified. While I agree it needs to be easier, this mechanic was meant to be hard. For me, I don't like it when things came easy, and honestly, Quarious Crafting wasn't really the greatest thing in the world. I think it's Quarious Crafting or whatever. I just went by what I called it because I didn't actually spend too much time. After I unlocked Quarious Crafting, I was like, alright, you know what? I finished Sunbreak. Let me take a break, and I never actually came back to it after that. But yes, it's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. However, to calm you, I'm going to mention more stuff about this at the end of the video, so let's not get off topic here. So why the heck are these odds so hard? Well, here's the Driftstone chart and the Driftstone meta you should go after. There are different types of Driftstones you can obtain by slaying large monsters. So as you see right here, depending on which large monster you slay, you will get a different colored Driftstone. So when you roll for skills, you can either get the Driftstone specific or non-Driftstone specific skills like I mentioned before. This is what makes it so hard. You see this huge pool right here? Well, you have the Driftstone specific skills, the non-Driftstone specific skills, and even the parameters. So take those three together and bam, you have this smorgasbord of stuff that you don't want to deal with, and all you want is that specific equipment skill you are looking for. Speaking of Driftstone skills that you should go after, here are the Driftstone skills that you should go after. All elemental attacks, burst, critical eye, weakness exploit, offensive guard/guard for those guard type weapons, and that is what you should go after first. I will have a tier list, etc., and future content out for the specific Driftstones you should go after and the builds for them, because it's a lot of information to put in one video, and all we're talking about here is the Driftstone mechanic in general. So yes, look forward for content like that in the future. Alright, we're nearing the end. So we have Driftstone shards and Driftgems Guide. So you get one Driftstone shard per successful Driftsmelt. I know that's kind of abysmal, but yes, unless there's a special event or something like that, you only get one Driftstone shard per successful Driftsmelt. You can exchange 100 Driftstone shards for a Drift Gem. And what are Drift Gems? Well, these are extremely valuable because Drift Gems only have 3 rollable drift smelting skills. So the odds of getting the skill you want is much higher than regular Driftstones. You can view what skills a Drift Gem has by tapping on the description tab or the arrow at the bottom right. So you see right here, click on that. As you see, I have a box right here. Click on that and you can see what skills Drift Gems have. They're pretty valuable. Again, use it for one that you really want. But as you see, as I'm scrolling through here, all of them have really good meta skills that you need for all of your builds. But again, make a very wise decision when you decide which Drift Gem you want, because every 100, as of right now, every 100 shards or 100 smelts, you will get one of these. So use them very wisely. Last but not least, here are my tips and tricks for drift smelting. You can view what skills a Driftstone has by tapping on the description tab or the arrow at the bottom right. Just like how I showed you for Drift Gems, same thing over here. As you see right here, tap on that and boom, you can see the list of skills and you can scroll down and see what skills a particular Driftstone has. Or to make it much easier, just use the chart. You can see the travel progress of your current active Driftsmelt on the bottom right when you check the equipment screen. So if you have a Driftsmelt active and you have travel progress, well, to quickly look at that, just tap on your equipment screen, look at the bottom right, and bam, that's your progress for your current Driftsmelt. Focus on drift smelting on builds that you are going to use the most or predict will use a lot in the future. I see so many theory crafting, etc. And I'm like, okay, slow down. You think you're gonna get this really quickly, but it's up to the luck of the draw. And as you see, based on the evidence we have right here, it is extremely hard to get the build you want. So this leads to my very last tip, which is extremely important as a mental health therapist and as someone that's a specialist in this field and does this on a daily basis and practices, etc. Don't let FOMO, which is the fear of missing out, get to you. Everyone has different circumstances and playing fields. It's not a race. Stay present and enjoy your journey. I'm definitely enjoying the game, love the game a lot, but I was also there at one point where you were at. I was there when I started, and I had to get all this stuff and work really hard, And yes, I spend money, but guess what? I also work really hard, so I have the money to spend on this game. So just because you're broke and you can't spend like I do, that's not shaming anybody that can't do it, by the way. That's for all the haters who are shaming me for spending my money the way I want to spend it. So, again, I worked really hard to get to where I'm at, and enjoy the journey. I promise you, you will get here eventually. Or once you get here, you're going to be like, dang, I really wish I enjoyed it more. I hope this guide helps you out with drift smelting. This is one of the longest videos I have ever made. In fact, I spent my entire night, literally the day after, when I could have been relaxing or killing more as an ogre, you know? But y'all asked and I shall receive, or actually that's backwards. You ask and I will deliver. So yeah, this feature is identical to Quarious Crafting from Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. While improvements should be made in the future, it's supposed to be hard. It's not like Niantic Japan / Capcom made this super gacha mechanic out of the blue. No, this is how it always was. As you see right here on this Reddit post, yes, it's supposed to roll. This feature was meant to roll over and over and over again. So before you say it's super gacha or something like that, or they just like pulled it out of their butt, no, this was something that they just took from another main series game and put into this game, which is really awesome, but again, it's supposed to be hard. Things should not be given, it should be earned. And if you want the build you want, you're gonna earn it one way or the other. But this is something you have to remember. This system is not decorations. Decks are very likely coming in the future. A more friendly system, hopefully. It's coming in the future. Per my knowledge, I can't tell you why or anything like that because I'm a Capcom creator, but yeah, it's very likely going to come into the future. I don't know when, but again, decorations have been a very core way, the primary way of getting your weapons and armor powered up. Not this, in fact. So it was a really big surprise that this dropped. Let's be grateful we have this feature to begin with rather than not have it at all regardless of the circumstances. Because some of you like me are getting really lucky and you're getting burst 1 on that one real piece of armor you need or an equipment skill you really wanted right away. Or you're getting very lucky. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. I wish you the best of luck on your rolls because I already got something I really wanted. Now I wish that luck upon you. Again, do me a huge favor. Again, this took a really long time to make this guide, so I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. And I will see y'all on the next video.